Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be about red flags. Spotting the red flags before you start any relationship, spotting these red flags in any situationship, and what to look out for. I have 10 top tips on how to spot these red flags. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into them because there's 10 of them and there's a lot to talk about. And I'm hoping one of these or a couple of these you pinpoint in your situationship, your relationship, or if you just started out dating. These are the top 10 for me that are red flags. So, number one for me is communication. So, if you're talking, you're texting, and the other person is taking their time to respond, they're just taking a couple of hours a day. Sometimes they're taking days on end to reply. And they're just carrying on the conversation where it's been left off. And it's not, that for me is a big no. That's kind of a really boring. So when it comes to texting can be a big thing within starting a new relationship or just dating. And you don't know whether if you're playing too hard to get or if they're playing too hard to get or they're just busy. And a lot of the time we don't need to just think, oh, they're not texting me, they're not into me, because texting isn't always a great way of communication. There's calling, there's social media, there's certain ways, there's many ways that we can talk to the other person. But if that person is not communicating on the level that you need, that you want, and their communication is just not living up to your standards, it's just taking days on end, then that is a red flag. For me, this is a red flag because if someone is truly interested in you, they will show it. If they are busy, they will explain why they're busy. And if the pattern keeps repeating and they're not living up to your expectations, then this is a red flag because it's showing they've got trust issues, that they're emotionally unavailable, and they're pulling back. We read into text messages a lot of the time. We try to read the tone or the way that they're speaking, flirting in the text messages, but we don't always necessarily need to think, oh my God, they haven't texted me, they don't like me. It's a matter of if they're going to be consistent like that or they don't message you for a few days or a week. That is where I see the red flag. If they are not consistent, and the conversation is not flowing, that is your number one red flag, that they have other people on the line or that they're emotionally unavailable and they're trying to pull back because deep down they're not actually ready to start this relationship. They're not ready. They've changed their mind. They're not ready and they're pulling back. Everyone will say communication is key in any relationship, but it is down to you to decide if that communication is not ticking your box right at the beginning of a possible relationship. How are you going to sustain a further relationship with this person if they're not ticking the box right at the beginning? That is your number one red flag. Number two is when that particular person is talking negative about their ex or previous exes. If you are dating someone and they bring up their ex within the first date, two or three, and they're talking really negative about that person, or they bring up that person cheated on them, and they kind of just go in about what happened and just poorly speaks about them and blames them for the relationship, this is a sign that there were issues in the relationship, but this person is showing unresolved bitterness. They're not taking responsibilities for their own actions because it takes two to tango. And if they are bringing up their ex in a negative way, this is a big red sign. For me, this is a big red flag because this person is carrying a lot of emotional baggage. This person hasn't forgiven or forgotten what has happened in the past. They are holding this resentfulness, this bitterness, this anger that they're actually going to bring with them into the new relationship. They haven't forgiven the previous ex for whatever happened, cheating, anything. They haven't forgotten, they haven't forgiven. They're holding this pain. And what they're going to do is they're going to bring that into the relationship and procrastinate onto you. This is going to be projected onto you. They're going to then blame you for acting like their ex because that person hasn't forgiven that person. That person hasn't healed and moved on from the past. So that is number 2. Number 3, they play games. They give you mixed signals of hot and cold. They lead you on, they breadcrumb you. And one minute you feel like that person really likes you, the communication, the texting is flowing so nicely. Then the next day, it's just crickets. Or the next day, the conversation is just really dry. That is breadcrumbing. This actually starts to play with your emotions. It starts to play with yourself and your self-worth. You start to question your own beliefs and your own self. What's wrong with me? Why is this person pulling away? Did I do something? It's the push and pull method. So what they're going to do is they're going to pull you in, then push you away, and then you're going to want more. They're wanting you to chase them. And this is manipulative behavior. Playing games is to purposely, intentionally create confusion. And it kind of makes them have the upper hand because they feel like they're high up on a pedestal where you're feeling really low and lowering yourself because you're actually starting to chase this person because you got the hot and cold, you're getting the breadcrumbs, and you're feeling this self-worth that this person is like, nah, I don't need you. I don't want to talk to you today. And you're like, why isn't this person talking to me? What have I done? I need to just reach out more and just try to start that conversation and just have that texting flowing again. I need that. I really need that. It's that cat and mouse pull. And that is manipulative behavior. And we don't need that. We do not need games. If you want to sustain a healthy relationship, pinpoint manipulative behavior, pinpoint games, because no relationship should have games at the beginning. If 1 and 2 people really like each other, there shouldn't be games. Why someone does this is because they're actually insecure with themselves, and because they feel like you're better than them, they play the game. They move themselves up above you because they're insecure. And they want you to feel insecure so then they can feel good. That is manipulation. Another one at number 4 is they move too fast. They are moving too fast. They're trying to wheel you in to be their boyfriend, their girlfriend. They're smothering you. They're giving you gifts. They're complimenting you. They're trying to take you to on holiday in week 2. No. Why is this a red flag? Because the person does not love themselves and they're trying to find someone to love them. And what else that they're doing is that this is signaling emotional lack maturity. This person is not mature enough on an emotional level to sustain a relationship. So what they're doing is they're trying to wheel someone in, pull them in, be my wife, be my girlfriend, love me for who I am. They're insecure. They have witnessed abandonment, emotional neglect as a child, and they haven't done the healing work. They haven't healed themselves, and they don't like being alone. And for me, that is a red flag because if you are not around or if you go away, they can't be alone. They need someone with them 24/7. This behavior will be very needy, will be very onto your back when you go out with your girlfriends, when you go out with your boyfriends, wherever, go out with your friends. This person will be very needy, and this can sustain obsession. Number 5, lack of accountability. When someone chooses not to apologize, when someone chooses to deflect blame or acknowledge their role in the conflict that has just happened, and they're deciding to believe that they are in the right and that you're in the wrong, and they're not going to apologize for anything that they've done or said within the relationship or the date, this is gaslighting. They're avoiding taking responsibility and they're putting all the blame onto you because they believe that they are God's gift and that they're never wrong. This is a red flag. In a relationship with two people, again, it takes two to tango. A lot of the time, both parties will say the wrong thing. Both parties will do the wrong thing. It takes both parties to amend the relationship. But if one party is not and is standing firm with their decision that they are not in the wrong and that all the blame is on the other person, this is toxic behavior. If someone can't own up to their own mistakes, they are never going to learn. They are always going to want to be right. And this is gaslighting. This is not a healthy relationship because you will be always walking and treading on eggshells around this person, trying to not piss them off, trying to not make them angry. And it makes you the smaller person where they're above you. That is not a healthy relationship. That is not something long term. That is gaslighting. And we don't need that. We don't want that. Number 6, they are emotionally unavailable. How can we spot someone who is emotionally unavailable? This person will refrain from talking about their emotions, their feelings. They will shut down the conversation really fast when it comes to their feelings. They will make small talk to change the subject, or they'll just show disinterest. Why is this a red flag? This is kind of a very big red flag. This is a sign of emotional trauma that has happened to them in the past that they haven't healed from. They fear vulnerability, abandonment, rejection, and that makes them not want to invest emotionally into a relationship. And this is what happens when you get led on. They will give you everything that you want, you desire, all the love, the attention. But when they leave, it's zilch, nothing. And you kind of chase after that person. With an emotional, unavailable person, you start to chase them. Then they start to pull away even more because they get scared. They deep down don't want to hurt you, but the only thing that they can do is to pull away even more. So then you're chasing them even more. This is what an emotional, unavailable person is, an avoidant. They are not willing to put the time and effort into the relationship because there's so much going on in their heart and their head that they run. They may find that you are the most beautiful, attractive person ever, and deep down they want you. But really, they can't have you because they don't think that they deserve you. They don't feel they're worthy to have your love. There are so many issues that can happen here, and until that they find the love within themselves, they're always going to be runners, and you will be wasting your time. Number 7 is jealousy and controlling behavior. This is probably more to the women, I can say, but also men. You can kind of really feel someone's energy when they're really jealous. You just have to observe this person, observe where their eyes are, feel their energy, because you can feel the anger just radiating off them. You can just feel it. And if you can't feel it, observe and just listen. You will know. You will know when this guy is going, so who's that guy? One, number jealousy. Who is he? How long you been friends for? He's kind of niggling into the jealousy. If he is bringing up them sort of little niggles, that is jealousy popping up. It's good to have some jealousy, but if it's over the top, that is when it gets bad. That is when the red flags flash up. A little bit of jealousy is good, but not too much. The jealousy is mainly when they want to control your social media. They want to know where you are 24/7. And this is more the jealousy and the controlling together. They try to control your social life. They try to control your friends group. They tell you you cannot have any other gender of sex as a friend because it starts to just cause conflict and problems. Another one is they actually start to check your phone, they start to check your location, they try to hack into your phone. This is a big red sign that they do not trust you. There is no trust, and that they're trying to take control over you, and there's a lot of jealousy involved. This is not going to sustain a healthy relationship. To have a healthy relationship, you need to build it on trust and having your own independence. If someone is trying to control you and isolate you, this is a sign of possessiveness and insecurity. This person is trying to control you, trying to fit you into their own box so no one else can have you but them. This is again manipulation, narcissism. This is toxic. This is dangerous. This one can really turn out to be a really bad red flag that I highly suggest to run because it's only going to get worse until that person finds the love within themselves, heals themselves. This person would have been hurt badly from a previous relationship. And as much as they are playing the victim, you cannot be the rescuer. You cannot rescue them. They have to do it themselves. Number 8, substance abuse and addictiveness behavior. If someone's life revolves around drugs, alcohol, or gambling, and it's gotten to the level or the point that this is happening on a daily basis, that is something that's going to be a big problem because this person has developed an addiction. And when you step into a relationship with this person, that addiction is your problem because you have to work around this person who's going to have the mood swings, the change of personality, and the lack of possible money. And you're taking on that responsibility to love that person for who they are. But can you? Can you love them for who they are if they're going to be constantly on drugs, constantly splashing their money? It is an addiction and it is a problem. This can lead to unhealthy behavior issues and an unhealthy, sustainable relationship. And this will escalate over time if it is not fixed at the beginning. If they are taking drugs, drinking alcohol, the main thing is that they're trying to numb the pain they have inside. And you coming along may help that relationship feel that whole, but they're using this substance, they're using this alcohol to feel, to numb themselves from pain, from trauma, from something within inside of them. And that's going to be a problem because if you can't numb their pain, nothing will. This is going to show that they are not ready for a sustainable, stable relationship that will be healthy. Number 9, they can't accept the word no. If someone pushes you into things that you don't want to do and they take no for an answer, they overstep your boundaries, your values, your respect. This is a big problem. This person wants to have the upper hand, they want to have control. And this is a big red flag. They need to be able to respect you to have a healthy relationship. But if they're always telling you no and they want the upper hand, this is controlling behavior and this is toxic. This is a form of control that they want to have over you. And this can only get worse in the future. Lastly, at number 10, they play the victim role. When they can't take responsibility for their own actions, whether it be that they have multiple baby mamas or fathers, anything, and they're not taking responsibility to look after their other children, this can be a problem. Or her after her other children, this is a problem. They blame external people, external factors for their own life, their own problems. They're rocking in a corner. They don't have money. They want someone to always help them. They're not taking responsibility for themselves. This is a big red flag. If someone can't see their own personal issues and has to blame someone else, then that is going to come into the relationship where, again, they're not going to see themselves as the problem. They're going to see you as the problem. And that is going to cause a lot of conflict because this person is stuck in victim mode and they expect you to be their rescuer. But you cannot rescue someone. They have to fix themselves on their own. Otherwise, they're not going to grow. They're not going to go and become resilient, stronger because they're relying on other people. They will rely on you for money, for everything, to cook for them, clean for them. They will rely on you just like they rely on you as their mom or their dad. They will have high expectations for you. And if you don't exceed them expectations, look out. Here comes conflict. All of these pointers are very toxic behavior. All of these pointers is something that you should not have to tolerate. And I really hope these pointers has really helped you to pinpoint if any of these are happening in your life with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, husband, wife, or if you just started dating. These are the top 10 that I recommend to look out for. These are your red flags. For me personally, how many red flags is a no-go? How many red flags is number 3 strike? How many strikes do you have before you walk away? It is completely down to you. Again, you have to listen to your intuition to feel how bad these pointers are. I like to give someone 3 strikes, but it just depends on the situation, on the person, and it completely down to you. One flag, one red flag should be enough to walk away. One of these red flags that I've just read out should be the drawing line that you walk away, but it is down to you to make that decision. I really hope this has really helped you today. Please subscribe because I will be producing more of these soon. Thank you.